Long ago, in a small town on the edge of a deep forest, there lived a man named Elias. Elias was a young man, intelligent, but poor, living in an old wooden house with his aging mother. He worked tirelessly at a carpentry workshop, his hands rough from sawing wood, his back aching from carrying heavy loads, yet money was always scarce. His daily meals were nothing more than dry bread and thin soup. Each evening, Elias would gaze out the window and see wealthy gentlemen riding golden horses, dressed in silk, and his heart would swell with longing. If only I were rich, he would think. I would buy a fine house, take care of my mother, and live comfortably. Deep down, Elias was kind-hearted. He always helped his neighbors, and his shadow, the long, dark shape cast beneath the sun, seemed to symbolize a pure character, untainted by desire. One sweltering summer afternoon, as Elias rested beneath an ancient tree in the forest, a strange man appeared. He wore a dull gray cloak, his face pale with a twisted smile, and despite the bright sunlight, he cast no shadow at all. "Young man," he whispered, his voice like wind passing through dead leaves, "I see sadness in your eyes. You wish to be rich, don't you? I can give you a bottomless bag of gold in exchange for your useless shadow." Elias recoiled, his heart pounding with fear mixed with temptation. "My shadow," he thought. "What value does it have? It's only a reflection." He thought of his sick mother, of their miserable life, and finally nodded. "I agree." The stranger laughed sharply and raised his hand. Elias felt a freezing chill run down his spine. His shadow peeled itself away from his feet, rolled up like a sheet of parchment, and flew into the stranger's coat pocket. In return, Elias received a small leather bag. When he opened it, golden coins poured out endlessly. Overjoyed, Elias ran home with the heavy bag, his heart bursting with happiness. "Mother, we're rich," he cried. "We'll have a new life." He immediately bought a large house in the center of town, with spacious rooms, Persian silk carpets, and a gleaming silver dining table. He hired servants and purchased expensive medicine for his bedridden mother. She looked at her son with shining eyes, happiness softening her face. "My son," she said, "God has blessed us." Elias embraced her, smiling brightly. "Mother, we'll never be poor again. I'll make you live like a queen." In the early days, he held lavish banquets, inviting friends and neighbors to celebrate. People marveled at his sudden wealth and praised him as the luckiest man alive. Elias savored every moment, completely forgetting about the shadow he had lost, convinced it had been worthless all along. But tragedy crept in slowly, as cruel and inevitable as darkness spreading from the forest. The first sign appeared on a blazing noon. Elias stepped outside to shop at the market when suddenly children screamed in terror. "Mother, he has no shadow. He's a demon." Elias looked down. Under the harsh sunlight, everyone around him cast long, dark shadows except him. The ground beneath his feet was empty, lifeless. People began whispering and pointing. "He sold his soul. Stay away from him." Elias forced a weak smile. "It's just an illusion," he said. "The sunlight is strange today." But it was useless. Rumors spread like wildfire. Neighbors slammed their doors when he passed. Old friends avoided him. Those who once flattered him now whispered behind his back. "No shadow? He must have made a deal with the devil." Elias's heart twisted with isolation. He tried to hide, going out only at night or on cloudy days. But in a small town, nothing stayed secret. His mother, once joyful, now looked at him with fear and worry. "Elias," she cried, "what have you done? Why do you have no shadow? That's a sign your soul has been stolen." She prayed every night, but her health worsened from constant anxiety. Elias tried to comfort her. "Mother, a shadow is just an image. Gold is real." Yet deep inside, regret began to grow. He ate alone in his vast house, gold piled high, but unable to buy a single sincere smile. He proposed to Mina, the beautiful neighbor he had secretly loved for years. She rejected him coldly. I won't marry a man without a shadow, without integrity. You're a monster. Her words cut him like a blade. Elias collapsed to his knees, sobbing in the dead of night, finally realizing that the shadow was not merely an image, but a symbol of wholeness, of the humanity he had traded away for greed. The tragedy deepened when Elias's mother died. She passed away in loneliness, as no one dared visit the house of the monster. Elias sat by her bed, holding her cold hand, tears streaming down his face. "Mother, I was wrong," he whispered. "Gold didn't save you. It only made you worry yourself to death." There was it of one breed, only he attended her funeral. The wind howled through the graveyard like fate's cruel laughter. From then on, Elias lived like a ghost in his own mansion. He wandered the forest at night, calling out desperately, "Give me back my shadow! I'll return all the gold." At last, the devil appeared, laughing savagely. "You want your shadow back?" he said. "Trade me your soul. You want me." Elias trembled and refused. Even without a shadow, he still possessed a fragment of conscience. But that refusal only prolonged his suffering. He grew mad, avoided sunlight like a vampire, ate carelessly, and the gold became a curse. He threw it into the river, yet the bag remained full, as if under an eternal spell. Finally, on a night of torrential rain and cracking thunder, Elias could endure no more. He hanged himself in his living room, gold scattering across the floor like blood-stained coins. No one noticed until the stench of decay spread through the town. He was buried in a forgotten corner of the graveyard, without flowers, without tears. The rumor of the man without a shadow became a warning told to children. Do not be greedy, or you may lose yourself.